Oh yeah! Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This is really gonna be it. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Audio check. Let's check it. Alright. Okay, let's get the audio. Oh my goodness. Bow, 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 bow. Well, all right. Check it, check it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Johnny Bazaar checking in. James Blonde. I cannot wait to open this. This is. Let me take a deep breath. Let me get into the mood. This is the new rulebook for my new favorite game, Dungeon Crawl Classics RPG. Now, if anybody's not familiar with this, let me get a little closer. Hey, let me whisper in your ear. This is the going to want to tell anybody. Because once this game blows up, you're going to be like, I remember when I used to play the best game ever. All right, I can't afford the program with the fancy sound effects, so I just got to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a little like this over here. Alrighty then. Very recently, so I come from a Dungeons and Dragons background. Although I used to play old school D&D, 1981, 1982 was the last time I played until recently. The old school renaissance is on a resurrection of gaming things. Now this system, this is obviously the mailing thing that it came in. This is one of their logos, Dungeon Crawl Classics. Now it's an old school type game, a hack and slash, get in, get out. You're lucky if you survive, which is how I remember. I mean, back in the day, there was a lot of role playing, but you weren't so, how should I say, invested in your characters. Let me get a good background here. You weren't, I have a bard character that I've been dreaming up and working on. Still have yet to play it because it's just, very in depth. 5e, very in depth to try and get your character set up, this, that, the other. Oh, you love it. It's labor of love. You get in there, you roll the bones, you roll the dice. D&D Beyond has a great character generator I use. But talk about character generators. This. Hold on. Before I get to this, I can't wait for this. Before I get to this, these are your DCC random characters. This is, as you can see here, these are scratch off Dungeon Crawl Classic scratch off character sheets. This is red and gold. This is the character name. This is not the character name. See, this is a when you start out a character funnel. This was one of 3 characters that you sign. If anybody's not familiar with Dungeon Crawl Classics, the character funnel, you start out with 0 level characters with no skills, no spells. Half of the time, you don't even have a weapon. You just have peasants, farmers with pitchforks, and you simultaneously manage 3, in this case, usually 4 or several characters through what they call a first level funnel, which means you just run them through like army men in Vietnam, and who knows who survives. Now, the great thing about that is when you get through, like this one, he died from a dagger in the heart from a priest. I'm not going to go into it. No spoilers for sailors on the star list. C was the module we were playing. But here, this occupation, this was a dwarven miner. It might be too hard to see because of the lighting in there, but a dwarven miner, armor class 10, 3 hit points, speed 20. All of these you don't really see until you need to do it. Now his weapon was pick, which is as a club. He also had a small hammer and a lantern. The lantern was very useful. And he had earlier he looted a torch and 4 gold pieces. Now these are great. You should show up to a game. You show up to a game, The judge, which is what a what a DM or a GM is called in DCC, gives you a bunch of score. Or you can come in with pre-generated characters, or you could do it the old school way. You could roll some dice and get into it. Now this is okay. Here, this character lived, so we'll get to him in a second. Now this was my woodcutter. Clear dice 3. We were using dice to move it through on the battle map. He was a woodcutter. He had a hand axe, a holy symbol, and a bundle of wood. He's full common, 42 copper piece in his pocket. So this guy was strangled by a vine. This is literally the first monster or first entanglement, the first encounter you get entangled with is a vine, and this guy died. He was looted. I think that's where. Oh no. Okay, I think we took his holy symbol and we hit somebody in the head with it. The hand axe was kept as a weapon. This guy, see, clear dice 3. This is just a marker to move around on the battle mat. This guy didn't even last long enough for me to name him, even with a random generation table or whatnot. Now, this guy, my dwarven chest maker, who was the brother of the dwarven miner, they battled together. They fought together. They were, well, I don't want to go into too much. I don't want to spoil the module. But as you can see, he's got a lot. He went through. This character actually made it to first level, and he's the character that I'll be playing when I return to the table with my buddy Aaron from Brooklyn. Okay, so scratch off character sheets is where it's at. Nobody's rolling dice anymore because you have everything you need right here, right here. See that? That's torch, gold pieces. That's everything you need. That's all you need. Oh, this I've been waiting for. This is the Wizard variant cover of the best game ever. Like I said, I'm saving up to get the special effects. So here we go. I had to cross out my mother's mailing address on there. Oh my goodness. Now the artwork in this. This is from Goodman Games. John Goodman was an old school original D&D writer. All right, here, let me move this. I just love the artwork. This is okay. Now I went to Manhattan MiniCon very recently, which is at my library in the Mulberry Street Library in Little Italy, Chinatown, Lower East Side, where I've been going for years, literally since a child. I happened to see on a D&D, no, excuse me, on a D&D meet up that they had Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I did a little research. I wasn't sure the event actually, the table that I wanted to go to for this event actually was full. So I did a little research and said, you know what, this looks good. And let me tell you something. I cannot tell you. Look at me in the eye. I cannot tell you how happy I was to play this game. Just such a fresh. Even the monsters were new. The monsters were scary. You know, it's you know, although I love D&D and I'll never say anything bad about it, this is just something new, something fresh. I'm gonna have to Google pictures of the dice. Even the dice are different. This is just like when I was a kid, and a D20. What is this? Oh my goodness, you know. So then I went, played it, did more research, ordered the book from Amazon. It took me a while actually to order the book, but then I came home and I went to the library the next day. By me has all of the D&D books, which is a great resource. I actually want to do a video about this down the road. That very recently, real quick, I got back into D&D about a year ago. I was listening to a Playboy podcast which they just read the articles, just a chick reading the articles. And one of the articles was says, "Oh, resurgence of D&D. Vin Diesel plays D&D, and it lists all the, everything you guys know, the popular uh, podcast and Twitch streams and stuff of everything." And I said, "Oh wow, I used to love D&D, and I still go to comic book stores and would see the stuff. I didn't know there was a 5th edition." And so I kind of got back into it. Then the day after I went and played DCC Dungeon Crawl Classics, I noticed that somebody had returned the Monster Manual, the D&D 5e Monster Manual, which I got right over here. And I opened it, and it was like just so stale. I mean, it's a great resource, great book. I love the universe and whatnot. It was just like coming home from a rock concert, and your ears are still ringing and you're still pumped. And to get to your apartment, you have to get into an elevator, and the elevator has elevator music. That was like the switch. Okay. I cannot wait to open this stinking thing. This is the soft cover. I've seen the hardcover. I couldn't order the hardcover, but I did get the Wizard variant cover for fairly cheap. I really can't complain. Took a little while to come, but it's here now. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's flip this over and remove my nonsense. Oh my goodness, that's a Wizard cover, all right. That's the Wizard DCC Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game. 2012. So this is a fairly old system. This is the 4th edition printing. Oh shoot, it better be. I hope it is. This is not. This is the 1st edition, but that's fine by me. All right, let's see here. Yes, this is the old school one. Oh no, I'm gonna have to spend another $50 on. So this is the character. I forget his name off the top of my head. This is Goodman Games. Oh wait, hold on. I'm saving up to get the autofocus webcam as well. $29.99. So here you go. You're no hero. You're an adventurer, a reaver, a cut purse, a heathen slayer, a tight-lipped warlock guarding long-dead secrets. You see gold and glory, winning it with sword and spell, caked in the blood and filth of the weak, the dark, the demons, and the vanquished. There are treasures to be won deep underneath, and you'll have to find them. DCC RPG is a complete role-playing game of 1970s Appendix N fantasy. And Appendix N was Gary Gygax's reading list. So just, alrighty, the artwork in this is so stinking awesome. It really has that old school D&D black and white feel. I mean, 5e is great. You know what we're gonna do? Hold on. Let's just switch out back to. Let's switch out to this for a second. I'm gonna make my talking window super small. We're gonna get rid of the cover to the best game ever. All right, here we go. Let's start out from the beginning. Oh, we got a little bit of a shine. I don't know which. All right, I don't know which one am I taking. DCC RPG. How freaking cool is that? Awesome. Yes, Joseph. Excuse me, what I say, Joseph Goodman. Yes, this is the 2012 golden glory won by sword and sorcery. I definitely recommend Goodman-Games.com to go check out all of their unique awesomeness. We're every 20 minutes. All right, I want to keep this underneath a half an hour. Oh, scissor can. Oh, look at that, a dismembered hand. Oh my goodness, how awesome is this black and white artwork? Now this is punk rock. This is cool. This is great artwork. This is a little Easter Island head. This has great artwork. Talking jealous. Awesome. Don't go in there. You might never return. Now, from my understanding of the rule book, let's go. See, the beginning, 90% of this is spells. Awesome. I can't wait to sit down and get into this. All right, now let's go to the table. Okay. Oh, how did I? All right, let's see here. Roster of heroes. I guess that's the playtesters. This is actual photos of people playing. Oh, it's actually dedicated to Jim Russell, the illustrator. Okay, now let's see here. Chapter 1, characters. Your cleric, your thief, your warrior, your wizard, your dwarf, your elf, and your halfling. Now, in this, as opposed to D&D, your race is your class. Chapter 2, skills. Chapter 3, equipment. Chapter 4, combat, which is only 20 or some maybe 30 pages. And then the rest is all magic. Oh, up until a certain point where there's some adventures that come, a couple of level 0 adventures that come, or level 1 to 3. So a lot of the interesting thing about this, even though my character hasn't gotten up enough to actually use any magic yet, magic like this in this universe, it's very sparse. It's, people live and die and never even see magic or whatever. But when somebody casts a spell like a fireball, in D&D always happens with a very set, specific, happens always the same. Here, I just opened the book. I wish I knew exactly where to look. Where you roll and, okay, fireball. Maybe it shoots and hits and does 1d6 damage to your opponent. Maybe it shoots off and hits the person standing next to you. Maybe it explodes in your hands, burning your fingers off. Also, sometimes to get some of these spells, you have to cut a finger off, gouge your face, and cut yourself and stuff, which, is a trigger for self-harm. But, we won't go into that too much. This is something going on here. This is all of the, okay, exercise, remove curse, spiritual weapons, speak with the dead, level 5 cleric spells. I mean, and you max out at 10 levels with this book, with this rule set, I should say. That's why it's the best game ever. All right, last time I do that. So this is great. Oh, look at that giant rat. Oh, look at these rats. Oh, they look like my little pet rats. Oh, we'll have to get them in the monster versus a monster. Now this is great. I mean, this for the money. Awesome. That's a silk screen of a t-shirt I can make tomorrow. This is what their dungeons look like. I guess I don't see a scale, but I'm sure 1 feet equals 1 square equals 5 feet. This is okay. So back to what I was saying. Oh, all right. This is some ads in the back. This is the index, 465 page book. And this is everything you need to play forever. Actually, this is the first edition. The fourth edition has some minor changes or whatnot, but I think one of the intentions of Goodman Games is not to be like D&D, where every year there's 3 books come, which is great. I get every book, or I take them from the library, out from the library when I need them. That this is it. This is everything you need to be a happy player. There's a fourth edition updated that I have to get, but this is excellent. Now, okay, adventures number 67, level 0, sailors on the starless sea, the beastmen, a chaos lord in an underground ocean. That's why it's starless, because it's underground. So this is the module that I played. I cannot wait to get into. Also, one that I also want to Frozen in Time. Strange machines and wonderful horrors stir beneath the ice, where you battle robots and fly to Mars and shit, from what I hear from the podcasts. I don't know. So this is some of this. I mean, I'm going to be my next 6 weeks are going to be spent reading this book so that I can learn the rules to play the best game ever. Alrighty. We're going to go out with some music and some pictures from Coney Island. I'd like to. Oh, hold on. Why don't I peace out? Why don't I peace out first? That would be an appropriate thing to do. Alrighty. James Blunt, Johnny Bazaar, Coney Island Sideshow performer, checking in with my new acquisition, DCC rulebook, The Wizard variant cover. And if you don't believe me, that's the Wizard right there. It's got a beard bigger than mine, but I got more gray hair, so what are you going to do? All right, so here we go. Peace out. Thank you. Enjoy your night. Goodbye. We're going to go out with some pictures and maybe a song.